Hello everyone, and welcome to another Thomas Wooden Railway review, or in this case, a Zany Wooden Railway review. Today, I will be discussing the Zany Trains custom camera car. I'm very excited to finally get my hands on this item, because I helped to make it. It's been a little difficult trying to keep my mouth shut about it for the past year. I'd like to give a big shout out to Zany Trains for letting me be a part of the process, and for sending me 2 copies of the finished product to review. The custom camera car was sent to me in advance to do an early review, but the product may be out by the time this video comes out, and if that's the case, then I'll just put a link in the description. With all that being said, this is not a sponsored or paid video, so I'm going to be honest, and all of the opinions that I express are my own. So, first impressions. The packaging for this looks really good. It's consistent and in line with all of the other Zany Trains packaging with the purple and green color scheme. I love the Zany Trains logo, by the way. The font and the colors just say it all. It's zany. Custom camera car. I know that's literally what this is, a car for customs and cameras, but with the alliteration, it just sounds zany and again goes perfectly with the brand. All of the Zany Trains characters have a name like this, or at least they used to. More on that later. On the back, we have a nice description of the product that explains what it is, how it works for 3D printed pieces, and also as a holder for your phone or video camera. And with that, Zany Trains has instantly appealed to loads of wooden railway YouTubers like myself. We can see here that this kit includes the custom camera car, camera holder, 3 nuts, 1 bolt, and an instruction sheet. I think it all looks pretty— Hey, wait a sec. Is that a typo? Come on, Zany Trains, get your act together. One last thing about the box is that at the bottom is a teaser for a new character, Pete Za. Now, Pete Za does break the naming scheme that the other characters have, but, I mean, with a name like Pete Za, you kinda know he's just as zany as the rest of the characters. And that concludes the box. Now, it's time to open it. So, when I first opened this thing, I was sitting at my desk, and the nuts and bolt kind of fell into my lap, so make sure you open it on a table or something. Inside are all of the contents, just like the description said. Let's take a look at that manual. The instructions are online. This is a good idea, putting them online, but I think the paper copy is necessary too. I know that sounds weird, since this is a product that you buy on Amazon, but not everyone has access to a computer or a phone to look this up. You could go to a library or have somebody else look it up, and again, this is on Amazon, that's how you get it, but if someone is gifted this and they don't have internet access or something happened to their access or device, they have to figure something else out. On the positive side though, I gotta say I love this pamphlet. All of the characters, all 8 of them so far, are on this nice little set. There's the slime background. I really love this. I miss when Thomas Wooden Railway did pamphlets and then Mattel cut them to save a few pennies. I used to stare at these things for hours, same with the yearbooks, just looking at all the trains and what I had and I didn't have, but that is a rant for another day. So yeah, pretty nice pamphlet. Common Zany Trains W. I do wish instructions were included, a physical copy, but I could see an argument for not including them because, well, this thing's pretty easy to put together. Let's assemble the custom camera car. First, take your bolt and place it in the hole on the bottom of the chassis. Next, push down on the bolt and place it into the hole on the camera car. Now, take your finger and tighten the bolt by spinning the chassis around. Once you can't push it with your finger anymore, give one good hard turn with your hand until it looks like this. And there you go. This product is ages 8+ due to small nuts and bolts, the process of putting it together, and I'm guessing the camera holder as well, which could pinch you, so don't put your fingers in here. I feel like most kids could probably assemble this pretty easily, but if you are younger than 8, I would suggest getting a parent or guardian to help you. To place your camera or smartphone in the holder, simply pull on the end of the holder that doesn't have a hole and extend it, and place your device inside. Now you're all ready to— Oh, Huh. If you'd like to film with a smartphone, hold the camera holder like this and screw it in this way. If you have a big case on your phone like mine, it may not fit, so I would remove the case while filming, but give it a try first. And now, you have a camera car that you can use to film all sorts of cool moving shots on the tracks. Let's test it out. So the first time that I used this, I was on my Misty Valley set, and I ended up getting some bumpy footage due to me pushing it with my hand, which may have been unsteady, and the set probably being a bit uneven due to the ballast. It takes a bit of practice to get some smooth movement, and it all depends on the rails that the car is running on. I'm interested to see what people do with this, because it has the potential to be a really useful tool, and potentially save you money on expensive camera gear. You can basically build a camera slider with a separate piece of straight track and putting this camera car on it and going back and forth. I'm really interested to see what people do with this once they hook it up to a battery-powered engine. The biggest issue that I ran into was when I put my phone in two camera cars to film on two parallel tracks. The camera holder kept pressing down the power button on my phone, and that caused all sorts of different problems. So, when you put your phone in two at once, just make sure you find that sweet spot so it doesn't press down on anything, which can be hard because of the track placement and everything, so it just takes a bit of trial and error. Let's test it out with the feature that I'm the most excited about, just the chassis. I helped Zany Trains out with the measurements on this, and it's the same size as the wooden railway chassis in length. There are some differences though in the height and the width. The Zany Trains wheels make this a bit taller, and the block of wood that makes up the chassis is taller too. It isn't too much of a difference though, and the product will function as intended. However, the first camera car that I opened was a factory error. Look at this block of wood. It's completely slanted, which is a major bummer. I'm able to sand this down, or add some putty or clay, or do what I can to square it up and make it even, but not everybody can do that. I'm gonna give Zany Trains the benefit of the doubt here because this is a factory error after all, and the other car that I got was perfectly fine. But this is something to keep in mind. Lastly, I'd like to address the nuts. These are used for 3D printed designs, or anything else that you can put a hole in the bottom and then place the nut in, just to screw it in and make sure your stuff is in very securely. It's just another option, and I'm sure there are model makers out there who will utilize this. So yeah, don't lose your nuts. In my totally unbiased opinion, this product made to work hand in hand with my product that I sell is pretty good and you should buy it. Okay, in all seriousness, the Zany Trains custom camera car is pretty cool. Obviously, it's compatible with my stuff, as well as those made by other model makers. Plus, you can add whatever you want on top. Wood, cardboard, Lego, anything you want. This chassis is a blank canvas. However, the camera feature is just as cool. This is a great little 2-in-1 piece sold at a pretty fair price considering what you're getting. I think $15 is a fair price because you're getting the camera feature as well as infinite design potential. You're also getting a pamphlet, and it comes in a box. That concludes the review. I'd like to give a big thank you to Zany Trains for sending me these review copies, as well as just making this in general with me, as well as other model makers in mind, and having me be a part of the project. A small part, basically just a consultant, but I was involved, so it counts. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Thank you Zany Trains, go support them, buy the custom camera car, you won't regret it, and I hope to see you again soon.